So I can just open up a Chrome browser. I just want to quickly show you what we are doing here, which is applicable maybe in your office use as well. And this is, technically, this is a very powerful unit because it can do all the different functionalities within the same box. Right? So I'm going to show you now about webcasting here. Oh, no, you just go. That'll be easier. Thank you. So as you can see now, as we speak, right, you can see that the webcasting is enabled already. And now, from my YouTube channel, this is exactly what is being shown now from that screen. Yeah. So altogether, I have two different live streams. One is the left screen. One is the right screen. So this is recorded as 1, 2. This is webcasted as 1, 2. So the moment I open up this, it's the same as that screen. So at any time, my recording will have 2 files. My webcasting will have 2 files. Live. Okay, so I can now go in the whiteboard and write something on. It will get refreshed and updated over here. So the moment I write on an additional annotation, it will take a while because this is going to be going through the internet and it will get refreshed here as updated and will. This is webcasting. Okay, so as you can see, everything runs concurrently. So it doesn't mean that when I record, you will not be able to webcast. You can run it simultaneously at the same time. So you can see this is updated. So if you look at the overall composer here, as you can see, we have all the tools that you require for a presentation. It can be any environment. Now, likewise, we also can use the same camera to do what? To do Teams call, Zoom call, or any WebRTC. Just now you mentioned that your users may apply any platforms they want to use, right? It can be Google Meet, it can be WebEx, everything can be fall under the WebRTC umbrella. Okay. Right? So we have altogether up to 10 different services for you to configure as an administrator. So we can configure up to 10 different platforms under the WebRTC umbrella, plus the Zoom and Teams are specialized apps, so we have altogether 12 platforms to use at any given time. So they can switch around at any time. At the moment, we are using Teams. Maybe an hour later, we're going to have another meeting, we can use Zoom. So we don't even need you to reconfigure the unit. We don't even need you to shut down and reset the unit at all. Everything runs directly from the press of a button. Okay? Under the WebRTC, there are only certain platforms that you have to be careful of. Right? Things like WebEx and LiveSize, when you create an account, you use the meeting URL as a dedicated account. So it will not change, right? But if you use Google Meet, you have to be careful. The way Google Meet behaves is that a new URL will be generated after every meeting. So if you configure a meeting URL into the unit itself already for the first meeting, the moment the second meeting comes, the URL will not work anymore because it has to be a new URL. This is the behavior of the Google. It's not about us, right? It will stay the same only if the meeting is a recurrence meeting. If it's a weekly meeting or monthly meeting, the URL will remain the same. Otherwise, you have to take note that for Google Meet, you have to change the URL every time.
The Teams client or Teams mode or Teams, it's basically the standard Teams client.
Standard Teams client or the standard Zoom client. So as a user, you don't even need to buy Teams Room or Zoom Room license. You just have to add on a new email account and add it as a room resource account. So you don't need to buy extra license from Microsoft or from Zoom, where they charge on Teams Room account or Zoom account. So your IT admin will just need to assign each of the room for each box with a room account, with an email account, like what we have used in that station. Any question? Now, so that's for a main dedicated station here for presentation use. As long as it's a dual screen mode, this is the perfect solution. Now, and then we look at the bigger picture now. We can expand the station to more interactive stations as well, in a sense of we can also add on another feature, what we call as a metrics feature. So metrics means that I can now flip over to another page where I can now involve the other stations as well to form a new system. And this new system is that we can interact between station to station itself. So for example now, it's showing you as 4 windows of its own. I have 4 windows of my own. So generally this station and that station can be used by another group of audience to discuss their own and to interact their own by using the same functionalities here. But if I want to start my presentation, now I'm in full control. What I can do now is that I can now share either of my content to them at the same time. So what I will do is I'll just press here, I will share my content to here, and everybody gets my content only. So now originally whatever they're doing, they have to stop because now I'm sharing them the content. And as you can see, this amber light here means that they cannot do anything now. They have to listen to me. The whole tools cannot be used individually anymore. Likewise, the same station behind you is using a different model, is using a standard pure receiver. So this is nothing but a decoder. So whatever I show you here, it will be sent to them as a decoder. So as you can notice here, the hardware is different. It's a different model. All right. So I can also change my presentation such that I now press this to show the other two to them. So it gets switched at the same time. So I can always alternate my content. Now if I want to change my content, I can just push it down, go back to my page, and maybe now I'll show you my cameras up there. So my camera will be shown to all the rest of the stations. So for example, if this camera now is being used as a Teams call, the other stations do not need to join the call, but you'll just listen because we're in the same room. They can still see the image from far.
Can they see the image and content?
If I share, yes, of course they can. All right. So I can alternate between my camera and my content. Likewise, the file will engage with us because it's following us with the same content. Whenever I write over the content, the file can also see. So we are able to engage whoever is in the room. At the same time, we can engage the file participants as well from the same systems.
Can they share? Can both be shared? Push to. I mean, you push the camera and the content to.
Okay, when you use this model, naturally during a call, this left screen will be used for the camera head.
Yeah.
This will be a content. So we split.
So right now you push to here. If let's say this is in a different room, right now they will only see the camera. They won't see the content.
Correct. Correct. Unless I share the content, then they will see. From
so it's either they see the camera or the content,
correct.
not both.
Correct.
Okay.
But if I share the content with the, let's say these are from different rooms, correct? So they're using this model. Right? Likewise, somebody from another participants from another place, they don't have a SANET there. So whenever I use this model, it will be split from content and the camera screen. But when I share my content to them, let's say I share this content to them, they will see the camera as a PIP. Yeah, and then the main content will be shown here. So altogether, they are using one screen. It's a one screen format. Yes.
I mean, that was asking,
They can see both. They can see the camera head plus
see
the
a
content.
PIP and the content.
Yes, correct. Okay. So now I'm not actually using an actual Teams call or Zoom call. I'm just using the camera to simulate a call. Right. So I can always alternate the pages as a presenter. right? So now I can stop share. Okay, I resume back everyone. Now we have also a button where you can just simply touch a button and you can actually do a general preview of what is going on within that station. So if this room is large, it's very helpful because I don't need to walk all the way down to the other station. So as you can see, this is with 3 windows. I can see exactly that this current station is showing as 3 windows. I have 4 windows here and can show 4 windows. So this is a general preview by touch of a button. Now if I choose not to just see everyone, because it's maybe unclear to me, I can just disable the preview. Now I can just touch the screen and hold it there, and I can see exactly the same content as shown. So now I'm touching individual station to do a preview. Everything is controlled by the moderator here. Right? So now you already see that I can share individual content to all stations. And now what I can do is that I will show you a separate functionalities which is called the collaboration. So now let's say I share my whiteboard to everyone. The moment I press this, activate the annotation function, you can see that the toolbar starts to pop up. Because why? It's because I go into an collaboration
So
mode.
they can
So now all of us can write at the same time. Everyone can write on their own, and now we can collaborate. Again, this may be useful for any presentation session where the moderator needs to engage with all the audiences to discuss on certain topic. And now everyone can write. Now if I find any of the station is a bit naughty, I can just disable them. The moment I disable them now, they are not able to write anymore, and you'll see that the bar will dropped. Now they cannot write anymore. Right? I can also resume them back by just activate back them again, and whatever they have written before will be resumed, and everyone can still see what is going on with the rest. So this is a separate functionality called the collaboration. When I share content to the rest. Any questions? No question, I'll stop share. So now everybody resume back. I will go back to my control page now. So just now I show you as one direction of sharing. Now I can just do the same by clicking their station and drag to me. So whatever is shown there will be dragged to me. Okay? Let me disable this now. Okay. Alright? So go back. I can now stop share. Everything goes back normal. So now I will just drag here a plus sign. I will drag that hello back to me here. Okay, likewise, I drag here. Okay, so when I drag this whole content to me, alright, my original content will stay still. Alright. So now I'm also doing the other direction, reverse direction, where I'm dragging the audience station back to me. I can show it to the rest. Right. So now I can now share to all the other stations here. This is not right. Oh, because you have fully occupied the 4 windows. You have to close. Okay. So now I'm sharing this to the rest. The original of sharing, the source is from here. So here will come to me as a window, and now I'm duplicating whatever I see here to the rest of the station. So it's a bi-directional way of sharing, not just one way. So sometimes the students may want to tell the moderator, hey, can I share with all the rest of the audience? Yes, I can push his to me, I can share the rest. So the moment I drop one of the source content, it becomes 3 windows, this will become 3 windows. So this entire application here is what we call as a matrix, B-solution matrix. So as you can see now, we have one master and 3 slave stations. In fact, I have another room in my office room here. I have another station. All together, we can have one master and up to 40 slave stations, 40. So it can be as big as 41 stations. Yeah. So this is all running from the same SANET Pro. So we combine all the available metrics, the composer, mode, everything runs from the same box. Even the recording, and recording is still running. So even my recording and my webcasting is still running, all from one box itself. So imagine the power of that unit itself can do a lot of different functions at the same time. So one of the unique points about this matrix, this SANET Pro is that this is a very unique features where nobody else in the market has got just from one box solution. So we have developed this strictly to help the presenter to prepare the content and to push the content out. So it's very applicable to any teaching environment. It can be in a training room, it can be in a conference room, because this will become your conference call, this will become your shared content. And my webcasting is showing live.
So you do product launch, we need to use the queue as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may have a town hall event as well. So town hall event where normally you use a very big hall, right? But sometimes it gets overcrowded. So what we have a choice is that you can use this to run the hall event, but we can use the small box that you can plug it into another meeting room, which just connect to a single display. So those that is not able to squeeze into the room can watch from there as well. Because whatever you show as a content here, including the camera head of the speaker, they can also see from the other room. Likewise, the other audience will be able to see from the YouTube live channel, Facebook live channel. Alright? So, as you can see, there are side buttons here. What's the purpose of that is that instead of just flipping pages, page to page, right, left and right, I can now also assign shortcut that I can now choose to share this to all. Alright? So it's a form of creating one-click buttons, either to show here to all, or show here to all, or show here to some, show here to some. So we can create up to 5 different buttons as a shortcut buttons. Right? So everything you see here is configurable, right? So basically, if you don't need to have recording, I can just remove this button here because I can disable recording functions. Any question? In registering. This is all about the SANET Pro.
Can this unit support more than one IP camera?
Yes, or for as a stream. As a source, is it?
As a source.
Can up to 20 sources.
IP cameras are.
For IP streams. Obviously, you cannot show all at the same time because we only have two each one. But you can actually set it up as up to 20 streams. So you can call up any of the streams because it's going to be displayed over here. So as you can see, we have all the different buttons that you can add on. These buttons are also configurable, meaning that if you do not need a whiteboard, I can disable the whiteboard, I can disable the browser so it will not appear as an icon. So likewise, if you have 20 streams, I can show 20 buttons over here at the same time. So it can be your surveillance camera, it can be your security cameras, everything can be shown as a, ingest it as a source window.
Because majority of time when we do town halls, 45 hosting, they generally use Teams.
Yes.
Right now we use live events. Eventually that will go away, then it will be Teams, Town Hall, and webinar or even Teams meeting,
Okay.
depending on how interactive you want the remote participants are. Okay, so, I mean, so I'm just running through my head, you know, how
Yeah.
in
Okay.
certain sites.
Whenever you do web conferencing, I just want to add on is that in terms of the number of cameras, for this model, we can support up to 2 HDMI cameras and 2 USB cameras. So at any given time, you can connect up to 4 cameras, but you can only use 1 camera to call up. But during your call, during your session, you can switch cameras.
Yes, camera.
So for this model, we can have up to 4 cameras. For this model, we have up to, because it's got HDMI, 1 HDMI in. So you can have up to 3 cameras. So you can choose to connect with HDMI in addition to the USBs. For USB, it's only up to 2 at the same time. 2, you can configure up to two USB cameras. Unfortunately now, for the web conferencing, IP cameras cannot be used as a camera. So we are not Teams Room certified, we are not Zoom Room certified, which means as a user, you don't need to buy or pay license to Microsoft or Zoom. Yeah. Because whatever we have developed as an app is almost exactly the same as how you use it in your laptop to call.
So the updates is
Any updates, we will always follow with Zoom and Teams or Microsoft through our firmware update. So every year, if you look at just now my laptop here, okay, it's on the screensaver mode, so it doesn't see black. We generally update firmware every quarterly, so up to 4 times a year. Why we have to do that is because we have to always keep up to date with Apple, with Android, yeah, with Microsoft.
okay.
Okay, that's all I want to show you on the Sunnet Pro. And altogether, you can use it as a matrix.
Yeah.
That means, here's the rule: whenever you use it as a matrix solution, as a system, we can have up to 1 master and 40 slave station. So the master has to be a Sunnet Pro. All right. The slave can be a Core Pro, or it can be also a Sunnet Pro. All right. Or it can also be a receiver. All right. So these are the 3 options for the slave station. Yeah. That's why we come back to this picture here. Right. Just to give you a summary. So these are the 2 models that you can only use for metrics. Right? The rest you can use it for metrics. Right? For the composer itself, it's only running on this model. The rest do not run composer. For any web conferencing that you want to do from the box, it can be Pure Pro, Core Pro, or Sunnet Pro. All the Pro series. Right?
Can this push content to video bar?
Okay, good question. Now, Video Bar is another product that is within the Synapse series. Okay, the Video Bar cannot receive as a stream, so it cannot push content from this station to there. And Video Bar is designed to be on its own as a standalone unit for web conferencing. So for Video Bar, we can do web conferencing, all right, through another method which is called the BYOM method. It means you bring in your laptop, you use the laptop to call. And we are able to bring back the room device back to your laptop. For that, you need to run our vSolution app. So meaning that for us to run BYOM, you will need an app to be run on the laptop. Right? So you're able to bring back the camera device and mic device back to here. So the Video Bar can also do annotation. It can also support BYOD. Right? So if you have any other content that you want to share to the far end, the rest of the others together with you in the meeting do not need to join the call. So you can do AirPlay and do Metacast over the same Video Bar, and you can share out to the far end. So these are additional functions that we have as a Video Bar, but Video Bar itself is designed to be as a standalone. Right? You cannot receive streams from here. You can send streams from here to here, or to any of the model that is able to receive as a stream, right? Not the mini, but the pure output. You can receive as a stream. I can send it out from here to there as a dedicated IP streams, right? But it's not part of the matrix.
You cannot push content using HDMI out
To where?
to any.
Because those box, only this box has got HDMI in.
Okay, let's say I have a different video bar
Okay.
that receives HDMI in
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, of course you can connect HDMI cable to that bar. Yes.
And this will push the content.
Not push, it will be as a cable connection.
Okay.
Ah.
I mean, so it's able to push whatever.
Shown to the bar. Yes.
Okay.
So say for example, in a lot of MTR setup, you can get any pure, for example, and then plug in through HDMI into the bar, right? So you can actually show contents that's on our sign-up on the screen.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you meant, right? Yeah.
As long as the device got HDMI input, we can send it out to the HDMI.
So I mean, this can be used to control what is on the screen, what is being shared as content through the device. I mean, I guess it's doable. I need to.
No, don't worry, think of it. You understand. You need some time to digest. But this is what we are trying to show you, the differences among the models,
Yeah.
because it affects the price point as well. So obviously, if you want to have the most feature set, most powerful is always the Pro. All right. If you just need to have a very simple, basic BYOD only function, is Pure Mini. Yeah. So we are able to adapt and suit the different applications and the budget. Interesting, huh?
No, I mean, I'm just thinking of the different.
Scenarios.
Understand. There's so many different brands.
Yeah, I mean, most of the campuses will usually have an area where they will use it for town hall. It's usually a big area. And I'm just thinking back to a conversation I had with the campus manager for Jakarta.